Hi, I'm Ronik Patel. In this online webinar, I'll talk about how franchisors and multi-location businesses can use AI in their business. I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of what AI is and how it can help you save cost and grow faster at your franchisee business operation or a multi-location, multi-unit business operations. We'll do that by looking at the 5 real examples of how AI can be implemented, and these are real examples of where we have seen. This is not a talk where we are selling any tools. It's not really about any specific tools. It's more about building the systems behind your business that can help you to save cost and increase efficiency, reduce manual labor in your business. Franchisee business already run on repeatable systems. That's a great thing. That's sort of the core of franchisee systems, is that they run on this repeatable system. Now guess what, AI is helps more when you have those repeatable systems. So in a way, this is a match made in heaven, that there are so many use cases that AI can help you, from your communication, in your marketing, in your reporting work, training, responding in many different ways that we'll see in this video, and most importantly, deciding. That decision factor is something that AI unlocks, and it has a tremendous power that you could use in your business that we'll talk about today in this business. Now, little stat here from one study from Microsoft says 80% of workers in a franchisor environment, they say they don't have enough time or energy to do their work. Well, guess what? If AI can reduce that work and do some of that work for them, that means directly it affects your bottom line, your income statement for your franchisee. What kind of AI we are talking about? When we talk about AI, it is a broad subject, and it can mean robotics, it can mean a lot of different things, but the type of AI that we are talking about in this video is the AI that helps with the sort of text, emails, reports, insights, generating social posts, a lot to do with the voice, video, and the most important part is the workflows. Is not AI, you may be using it as a chat GPT doing something simple, but when you embed that into a part of the workflow, that's when you really unlock the power behind the technology around AI. Before we jump into those automations, very quickly, so you understand what is AI, there is a lot of talk around AI right now in the news, in your close circle, in all the businesses. But very simply to understand AI is, let's say if I were to say a sentence like, I walked into a seminar room, picked up the mic and started. And if I ask you what is the next word that comes after the started, well, that word, you probably guessed it, that and started speaking, right? How did you do that? Well, from all the, we are humans, from all the knowledge, all the behavioral data that is within our brain, we are predicting what the next word should be, and that's what exactly at an AI or in large language models, at that core, what they're doing is they're making predictions. It's a machine learning where machines are learning to read from the data and make prediction on that data, and when you do a lot of that training, you can get that prediction to working to the T, and that's really what the power of AI today is out there, that we can utilize in our business. The missing middle layer, this is where AI becomes practical. Before AI, someone had to manually read a customer review, write a reply. With AI, a system can understand your SOPs, your brand compliances, your previous review response. Using all of that data, system can draft the reply, understand the tone, and let the manager approve it before sending that reply. So that's the missing layer. We have already used softwares. Likely, if you're watching this video and you are in the franchisee operators or a multi-location operators, you have a lot of softwares. What softwares did, it was almost a one-way direction where you put a data in and the data sits there and you get some reporting out of it, right? But when you have this middle layer that can think, that's where you change the game. AI makes software think. So imagine a software that can think, it can understand the tone of something, it can summarize something, draft a response, flag a problem, and again, the important part is recommending that next step, or what we talked about earlier, making that prediction on what should be the next step. Using your data, when AI is trained to do that, really something close to a magic happens in your business. What happened with the old software, the problem with the old software was either you buy an enterprise piece of software off the shelf, or you would hire a developers to build this, very costly and slow process. You would go through that and you would end up with something. It still doesn't really quite solve the problem of your business. There's still a lot of, there used to be a manual work, and now there is a lot of manual work on the software piece, right? We are not removing that manual work. When we start to think about that, about building new AI enabled systems, that's when a big changes happen. What has AI done in this space now so far, up until we are in 2026? What has happened so far is when you have AI that sits in the softwares, and then we're going to see a lot of examples of how that actually practically looks like. That's a one thing. But the second thing is that AI itself is now able to write those workflows, write those softwares and tooling for you. We being in this space for long enough, we are seeing this evolution happening right in front of our eyes. Even right now, I would say what used to take us 6 months to write a software, that has become less than half. Now it's just a couple of months. Some of the things that used to take a couple of months, those things are now taking, let's say, a couple of weeks. So things have tremendously going faster, and this is a right time for businesses to get into this action, utilize this power of AI and solve the problems that were almost unsolvable just a few years ago. So when we look at the broader franchisee operating system, or if you have multiple locations, and when you look at your day-to-day things, you have customers, your employees, your task, your finance, your marketing and operations, right? And together with all of this, there must be a system that makes it all run, right? And how much manual work is in that system right now? And a lot of the times when I say manual work, there are so many things that you do, and you would probably not classify that as a manual work, right? But essentially, if you're sitting on a computer and doing something, all of that, just because you're on a computer, it doesn't make it automated work, right? All of that is a manual work. There's a lot of that work, and when we think about replacing those systems with AI enabled systems, the efficiency gains and cost saving gains are there, and the ROI is very clear that you can see. I'm Ronik Patel. I have built and grown digital businesses for the past 12 years. Right now, I run a Weam AI, where we help businesses like yours to build these workflows. Though in this video, it's not about us. I am going to talk about some of the real automations that we have built for other businesses. I have been working with franchises and multi-locations for a long time in their websites, marketing and operations, different use cases, and we understand this space really well. Today's goal is to give you that practical idea around AI without those buzzwords in it, like what can it do for you right now. So without a further ado, we're going to jump into those demos. When we jump into those demos, I want you to think about a day in a life of a franchisee owner, whether that's an independent owner or at an operator HQ level. You think about it, there are staff questions, customer complaints to deal with, reviews, sales reports, marketing, something is always moving and you're figuring things out. At the same time, calls are being missed and documents are being put together, and you're making a lot of fast decisions. In all of these areas, I'll show you how AI can be embedded. So again, without a further ado, let's get into those demos. The first thing that we are going to look into is a local content automation for a burger chain. This is a marketing use case. When you have a chain of multiple stores, and when you're doing a lot of local marketing, content is a big piece of that marketing. Right now, almost all the writers in the world are using softwares like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, any of those LLM LLM tools to already write the copy because it makes things faster for them. We work with large marketing teams and we see how that process goes, right? Now, if everyone's doing the same thing in that, then even getting the ranking or visibility into the LLM tools for your business, it's still very difficult. What we did for this chain is when you have a lot of locations and when you're writing a lot of local content specific, even though in those AI tools there is still a lot of time that goes into that. So if writing a good piece of blog for your local SEO, for your local ranking, let's say was used to take 2 to 3 hours, that has gone down to hour and a half. Using these tools, that have gone down to 20 minutes, right? And you're still producing same or a better quality than what you used to do before. In this little, we call it a vibe coded system, because AI was used to build out this system in just matter of weeks, where all the locations are in this system and all the right metrics for local ranking, specifically in the SEO search result ranking. When we, all the metrics for each of the stores are added here, all the keywords that you like to target, and a lot of the AI power insights are in there. How the content flow works like is, when you have a lot of I'm going to talk about this slide first. When you have a AI workflow, what happens in that workflow is you'll select a location, you select a page on your website that you like to target, you select one of the keywords that you like to rank for, then the AI system would go and do a Google search on that keyword and other semantically similar keywords to find the topics that are relevant to the keyword that you're looking to rank for. It does that same exact things for your prompt as well. For your GEO is what's called now is AI SEO, basically, where your brand can get more mentions in ChatGPT. Already more than 30% of Google's traffic has diverted into LLM tools. Ask yourself as well. I asked myself, and I'm probably more like 70%. I'm more in the AI tools, AI LLM, chatting with AI LLM models rather than Googling something. So we use that data to figure out what the topic of that blog should be, and each time that blog should be unique. So AI also goes to the website and looks at all the previous blogs that you have written and makes sure that this topic ideas are unique. And then there is a human intervention. Human then would select one of the topic. Once the topic is selected, using again that similar type of a web search happens to finalize what the brief of that article is going to be like. And then AI helps you write that content. And then there are a couple validators build, sort of a QA quality agents. You can think about this agents. What they're doing is they are then reviewing that content against the SEO guidelines, against what Google recommends is EE80 guidelines. So against Google's EE80 guidelines, that content gets modified, right? And then it gets connected to your website and you would publish that blog post. Now imagine doing this for 12 locations, and that's why I said it does take a little bit of time even to go through this process, right? So I'm not saying that this is fully automated. As if it's a fully automated, there are a lot of things in betweens where there is a human judgment needed. So what actual work is being done by AI, human is still involved, but only to make those judgment calls rather than doing the actual work here. When you are doing this, now you could push content across your locations, and outside of that, it also does a tracking of where your brand is being mentioned on which like in Gemini or ChatGPT, how much time your brand gets mentioned in what context, along with what other competitors, right? You can build a beautiful dashboard that gives those real time information to your marketing team so they can act on it. So this is a use case where marketing teams can, around their content production, more than 50% cost saving is there for your marketing teams. Now this is a one particular use case. There's so many things that I can talk about that touch this type of workflows, but the core understanding I wanted to give you is like something most of the marketings are working on the copy, and as they should be, and using it properly beyond just a simple ChatGPT, it can do wonders for them. The second automation that I want to talk about is for a senior care business where supporting every senior care location from an headquarters, and this is a more of a support use case. It is both the staff and the team member support as well as a customer support. So building out a mobile app for them, but instead of your normal chatbots where you go and they don't make a lot of sense even though it says it's AI, that's because that chatbot doesn't have the context of your business. It doesn't have access to your SOPs, it doesn't have access to your compliance guideline, it doesn't have access to all the previous support cases that you have dealt with, right? What we have done here is we can take all of that information, we can give that information and train the model so it understands all of those information. Now let's say somebody from your network, one of the senior care centers would come and for example would ask here a question, something like, how is my business doing today? If the model has a data to the business metrics, you'll be able to answer that. If something like a family says our caregiver missed 2 visits this month and wants a credit, what should I do, right? A lot of the new owners in your network, they may not know how to deal with all the different scenarios that come up in there, right? AI would able to exactly give them the answer that is compliant with you, how you deal in your brand. Not just that, but it can even suggest a lot of the other things to that user in that particular situation to help them. So this power of AI is very straightforward. Probably this is the use cases that is widely being adopted right now. You probably have seen it yourself when you go to some website now. You see those chatbots that are trying to talk to you instead of real humans, and most of the ones that are failing, it's because it doesn't have the right context of the business. Outside of that, when you combine all this data from an HQ level, this is an amazing data to see how many tickets are there, what are the what's happening in that message itself, right? So it's not just, even the old customer support systems were able to tell you how many open or closed tickets you have, right? But would they tell you what was the context of those discussions, right? Now it's not about just how many tickets are open or closed, but exactly giving you a context of those tickets. That's why if things are going in a wrong directions, you would know earlier than before. Across the locations, you can deploy the system from an HQ to their network, all the locations, and then similar use case for the locations to their customers. This could be deployed. Okay, I'm gonna continue talking about few more automations example like this. But as you go through this, I want you to think about what are some of the workflows in your business that you can bring an AI workflows to help you optimize those, save cost, grow your franchisee or multi-location business. And if you're not sure where to start, on this page you'd see a calendar. You can book a call with me or our team members where we can very quickly ask you a few questions, understand your business, and can do that audit for you to find that exact area, because there's 100 things you can do in your business, but you probably would have seen on news as well that a lot of the such AI use cases that are being implemented, they're not successful, right? Because not every AI use case that you try to implement is going to be successful. That comes from experience. When we look at the data, when we see what your objective and what your goal is, we'll be probably able to tell you that whether or not AI or the overall tech is ready to execute that or not, right? So that just doing that opportunity audit is a really great start. That's something we'll be more than happy to do it for you. If you're interested, book a call on this call. Okay. The third automation I want to talk about is this hotel chain that we worked with and building their operational centers around reviews. You can think of this as a reputation management system for a hotel chain. What happens when you have a multiple locations of your business, you have a different review platforms like TripAdvisors, Google, and many industry specific review portals are out there right now too. Just checking those portals manually, it's pain. What AI can do is it can sync with all those different portals, and in one place, in one central dashboard, can bring the reviews for all the locations in one place. Wouldn't that be amazing? If that happens in one location, you are able to see all the reviews from all the places. Well, it doesn't stop there. Right after receiving the review, it can also draft a response to that review. Once that response is ready, you can approve or send it, or you can have a certain settings around it that if the response, if the review was positive, then likely you can still send a response without any human needs to review it. If the response was negative, then it would be highly likely that human would review the AI generated draft once before sending it. Again, what we talked about in the last use case around the support case, when we have your business information, AI would act using that information. So it's not like ChatGPT type of model where you go and you'd give a review and it'll act on it. It will look at your business model, your compliance standards, and a lot of other business information before making that draft or auto responding. Then you get the central dashboard where you can see what type of issues you are getting, for in this case the cleanliness issue or check-in delays or breakfast or noise or around the AC or heating, right? You could see analytics on what type of reviews are you getting the most. You could see it by locations. You can see which locations are falling behind. AI can use a lot of this data to pull insights that sometimes it's humanly just not possible in terms of the time, that no human would have a time to go to each of their locations and look at all their Google reviews, right? But what if AI is doing that for you and then alerting you on just the right things that you need to know? That's what this automation is about. The next automation I want to talk about, it's for spa operations businesses. For them, they already had a lot of softwares and systems they were using. So it was more about building a one control center where some reports are in their POS system, some reports are in their CRM system or appointment booking system that they had. So data and reports were fragmented, and the type of reports that really management needed, none of them gave, because no one had the complete picture of their business operation. So what we did here is, there is something called MCP that, about a year and a half ago, it's a protocol of connecting different tools together that was made just for AI, using a lot of the big name POS systems. For example, in a restaurant space, if it's a Toast has an MCP now. So using those MCPs rather than using the traditional APIs that were being used before, now using those, we can connect to different systems. So in this case, there are 6 spa location. Each location has their POS, their bookings, their CRM, their payroll system, the data around the rent and lease they keep somewhere, their memberships information. AI can pull all those information in a one central location, so you can make a central dashboard out of it that gives a clear indication of where the business is headed for the management people. Not just that it pulls all of those things, it can automatically detect anomalies in that data. For example, here it shows that the West region is showing drop in their revenue. There is a no-show rate has spiked in the Florida. It can even check the weather, whether or not it was related to a weather or not, right? So there is a lot of these things that AI can intelligently do on your data that again was just simply not possible some time ago. So this is an amazing workflow where you're connecting your data and in connecting that data, AI helps, and then AI also helps you to bring out insights from that data, the real insights that you need to operate in terms of, from this insights to deciding where should you open your next location, right? What are the areas that are performing well, what are the areas that are not performing well, and not just looking at, you can already do that by looking at their sales number, right? But not looking at just a sales number, but also looking at the micro data and the trend to give you that understanding. That's what it showed here. You could see different insights by different regions, what locations are at risk, why is that the case. Since it's connected to their appointment systems, it knows all the information about how many leads they're getting, how many visits they're getting booked, what's the average revenue of those visits, is that increasing, decreasing, are the add-ons are working, how much add-ons, if you had 2 locations in around same city, just seeing that one location is selling add-ons X number, one is selling Y number, right? Like what may be what could be the cost for that. So yeah, AI works just fantastically in this type of use cases. Those are the four use cases. The fifth one is a little bit different. I just want to say it's, you are probably already using a lot of chatbots, and AI is not just chatbots. Even something more simpler, what I've shown you, there were more dashboards. I'm going to show you some simple stuff that also AI can help with. Simple things like follow-ups, email automations, review monitoring, call summaries, SOP and training boards, customer support, even managing your website. It can build a website, it can edit a website, it can auto upload a product on your e-commerce websites. It can send an automatic cart abandonment emails to your customers. So whether your site is built on a WordPress or Shopify or Magento or any of those platforms, there are already agents that can go in there and can improve what you're already doing there without spending a lot of the human hours. So a lot of the workflows or manual work that goes into those processes, there could be workflows that can help solve those things. So for example, let's look at the automation opportunity around AI voice assistant. As humans, we are gonna have some call missed, but when we have a missed call, it means a real opportunity slipped. And AI agent would never miss a call. It'll be able to attend your call. A lot of the calls are around store hours or pricing. It'll handle those calls very easily, but it can also book the appointments, it can reschedule things, it can capture the lead information for you. So AI voice assistants are also very popular right now because in practically they have started to deliver. They have started to save your cost from a lot of the human hours that goes into attending your phone. Similarly, a lot of opportunities in just very small function of a business, customer follow-up, right? Following up automatically on a missed inquiry, or appointment, reminding before an appointment, requesting for a review, a win-back campaign. If there is a birthday, running in birthday offer automatically. So a lot of this smaller things around customer workflow scenario that AI is able to do right now. Ultimately, how we want to see AI is its people, processes, and how AI helps in these peoples and processes. What we are seeing as we are in the early days of AI, just really 3-4 years since the humanity had a chat GPT moment, most of the use cases right now we are seeing, it's not really changing the system. On an existing system, how do you bolt AI on? But what slowly we have started to see is we have to start reimagining those systems from the ground up using the AI. That's a bigger shift that is about to happen, and that's where we want to make sure that you are aware about these things and taking full advantage of this ground shifting that is happening and rebuilding the systems for your business. If you are not sure, I will then we are more than happy to help, but we would recommend to find out what are some of the top workflows that you can bring in your business. If you are adventurous and if you're feeling you want to start redesigning your business systems with AI, that is a little bit of bigger goal. Whether you are in that initial phase where you still want to automate some of your workflows, or you're ready to redesign your complete systems, and what does that really mean? How does AI fit into it? Does it even fit? Is it a right fit or not? I'll highly recommend to book an opportunity audit with us, where we can see your business and can recommend you the exact steps that you need to take, whether you work with us or not. But exact step, it is free of cost. Exact steps that your business needs to take the full advantage of the AI opportunity. Thank you very much for listening to this video, and I can't wait to see you on one of the AI opportunity audit calls. Thank you.